A battle for division supremacy. It's the coach. This is NFL football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got 1 versus 2 in the AFC East, as it'll be the New England Patriots taking on the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field just south of Buffalo, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the first Wyoming quarterback to go in the first round, standing 6'5". It's Josh Allen.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Watch the pass.
Pushing through the contact, and he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And for this offense, yellow highlighter around Trent Williams.
As well there should be. A Pro Bowl, all-pro type of a left tackle. So mobile, you could also see him as a tight end. This guy is a terrific football player.
First carry for Darius Geis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Bills send the punter out. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And taken right at the 35. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Patriots take over. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
I love the versatility of Marcus Cannon. He can play guard. He can play tackle. I think his footwork has really improved during his time in the NFL. He has one of the better backstories that you're going to get. This is a guy who was diagnosed with cancer, has beaten that, and now is one of the better players in the NFL.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. It's a room to maneuver. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Set, ready, 18 Gator.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Steps away to his left. He's going to have the hook up to Izzo. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. This is how they'll line up on the defensive side for Buffalo. Now, they've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
Go, 60 Pittsburgh.
49. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Ready.
On 2nd down, Michel. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
15 Ronnie, 15 line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Ryan Izzo, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Bills getting set to go. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots.
There we go.
N'Keal Harry. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Santos now to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they will be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Looking downfield for Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 30. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
10 Lobo.
49 to Mike. 49 to Mike. Get the ball. Shoot. Watch the shoot.
Matchbox lights.
Here we go. Check.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Danny.
2.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let... Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
Going the other way.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And now out come the Bills. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. N'Keal Harry with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Now the point after try for Santos. And it is now 21-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, They've talked about it for years. They've done the drills, but they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
So the Patriots coming out now. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. This drive starts out on the ground with Michelle. Breaks free again. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaway, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
Let's go.
This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Now back to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
On second down now, Michelle. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They come out here in the eye. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Harris. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Damian Harris, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Got it.
And now the Patriots are going to line up to go for 2 here.
I'm on.
They'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Adam Shaheen, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Allen to throw again. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It's taken to the 26. Whoosh. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. Last week, what a game. He was knocking on the door for 200.
And one of the things I saw come out of last week's game in his post-game press conference, he gave a lot of credit to the offensive line, as you might expect. But he also talked about the wide receivers blocking on the perimeter because no big game happens unless wide receivers block as well.
And watching film you showed me, he also made people miss. They begin with Michel on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Get him, boys. Get him, boys. Big rip.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day, baby. Go ahead and take a seat. You can't stop me.
We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports.
We go.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
58, boys, 58.
He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On 2nd down, Dawkins. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dietrich Wise Jr. has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, that they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded at the 33. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. He goes 67 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Santos now to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Zay Jones with the rest of his offense as they take the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Geis with a carry on second down. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing now is Allen. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. As you see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here, it's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. Steps away. Catch is made by Harry. And he'll be out right at the 35. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. But they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes two to tango.
Ready?
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. Fights loose. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now. Michel. And some space here. 30. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, 57 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Santos with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. On the draw, they go to Geis. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3-and-out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
The Bills send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. A good return there, 17 yards.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
It really helps your play calling because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Get it.
They'll run it. This is Michelle. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Now.
On 2nd down, Michelle, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
We always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Matt LaCosse, his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the point after try for Santos. And the route is on here in this first half. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes Zay Jones with the rest of his offense as they take the field. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Have something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here. And it's being done by him. And, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
Double tight.
Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Allen to throw once more. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Whatever happened with the other one? He's up for more than quarter. Wow.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Dancing to his left. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Santos with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 30.
Game. Yeah.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll drop the throw, and that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The Bills send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play, that's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And it is the Jets who have the lead in the second quarter. Sam Darnold with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they trail that one to the visiting Oakland Raiders. Laquan Treadwell, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
And he's already gone over 200 yards on the ground as we... Get a look at some of his solid work.
And the guys I know, they think about 100 yards each and every game. That's the confidence factor. That's the level they think they should be getting to. Rarely do they admit to saying, I'm going to go for 200 or more in a game. That's what we're seeing right here. What a combination of great runs, vision, power, terrific blocking. It's all come together in this one.
And nearly impossible to stop. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On the ground is Michel. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Stidham sets to throw on first. They'll roll him out right. And he fires one incomplete.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller is thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Stidham. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Out to his left. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Ryan Izzo with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On the ready.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Push him back.
They'll look to throw. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run with Geis, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 42.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Out of the gun, Geis. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And Geis is going to be stopped short as he did not get the push he needed. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And his kick is good. Boy, just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board. Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep them out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
Almost made it.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that, and guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. Out of the gun, Stidham buying time to, and he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Jarrett Stidham, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle 3rd of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points, straight line.
So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for 2.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Now it's Stidham. Being chased out left. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Now, it could also result in a melee later, though.
Yeah.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken very short. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's up them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. There to stop him, Jawan Bentley. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Running from the gun with Howard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Taking it about the 16. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
It'll be a Patriot 1st down on a pickup of 16. And I was just reminded on that carry, he went over 16,000 career yards, so he is now about 700 away from Walter Payton for 2nd place all time.
Man, that's rare air. I'm just telling you, the oxygen there, I would need a tank. You would need one. He's up there doing it all on his own, walking with the greats. Phenomenal, phenomenal accomplishment.
Man, he still looks good doing it. On the move to his left. Got a man open, that's Harry. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. To throw is Stidham. To Michelle on the screen. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown.
I need them passing yards in the 1st downs. Where am I at? Passing, I'm at 243. I'm at 17 1st down. I need these right here, these two, for the season goal.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
30 base.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Let's go, defense.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in the open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
15 line.
They'll run on 1st down. Michelle. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Buffalo. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Michelle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a New England 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On 1st down, Michelle. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now they'll throw it with Stidham. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Rolling to his right. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Now Stidham, off play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one.
And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Santos with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by...
Pick off. Yeah.
Juan Williams.
Pick.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
And now out come the Patriots. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
And it's Michel once again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Let's go. 70, Indy.
59. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey,
Let's go.
They'll run on first down. Michel. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Steps away to his left. He's going to have the hook up to Izzo. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. New England on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Hoffman eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They're running it. It's Michelle. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the rush coming, and he's taken down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down now, Michelle. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. New England on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll run it here. This is James White. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. They'll run for it. This is White going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Bills are going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
No gain on this defense. No gain.
Ready? Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And taken at the 46. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill. little bit. You want to regale us with old stories? Of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Get it.
Throwing on first down. Hoffman. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
59. Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No,
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah. She's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll set up to throw. He leaves this one for Howard. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout,
because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Double dog, that's the way.
On second down, Michelle, and a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Looking to throw. Hoffman got his man. That's Harry. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 30. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yards. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
On second down now, Michelle. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Get it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Hoffman forced out to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. And the Bills are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Got it.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Shoot.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New England, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, it's just their third loss as they fall now to 10-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.